takes.
If they don't make it to the finals, then this might be one of the biggest L's in NBA history.
Hot topics.
All right, well, I want to give you an apology. Tyrese Halliburton may have proved me wrong.
The best analysis.
But Jokic, he might be the best player in the league this season. He really might be the MVP.
This is the Full Court Report.
And we're back. Episode number 12. How you fellas doing?
Doing swell.
I'm doing fantastic. NBA season's back. I'm thrilled.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We actually have some regular season hoops to discuss. And, yeah, we're off to the races. So, yeah, I mean, we'll probably spend the majority of the show kind of just discussing our early season, very early season, like game one takeaways for a lot of teams that we've watched. But unfortunately, we already have a couple of injuries that we got to discuss. It is just part of the game. But I think we should probably start down in New Orleans. Dejounte Murray, their new guard that they traded for over the offseason, he suffered a fractured left hand during Wednesday's season opener win against the Chicago Bulls. And according to Shams, he's expected to be sidelined for, quote, an extended period of time. So not really a lot of clarity there, unfortunately. But I don't see this being like a season-ending injury or anything like that. I fully expect him to be back sometime during the regular season. But just in general, I mean, how do you guys see this impacting the Pelicans, New Orleans? Zion also missed that game against the Bulls, but it was with an illness, and I'm pretty sure he's expected to play on Friday against the Trailblazers. So, good thing there. But what do you guys think of Dejounte Murray and his injury?
It sucks. It sucks real bad that it was, season opener, game one of the season. Couldn't even get through one game without getting hurt. But that's how it goes sometimes. But I don't know. I guess it affects them because they got rid of some guys to get the trade deal done, bring him in. So it's probably just stinks overall. It's just a complete L. But I don't know. They were going to be an all right team. I figured play-in seed, like maybe that 8 or 9 seed, get in the play-in. But I do know Zion was very excited to be playing with his new point guard, Dejounte Murray. So that kind of stinks for him. They might miss the play-in now, depending on how long he's out for and depending on if he comes back. It's his offhand, so it shouldn't be too impactful. But, if he misses, if he's not back by Christmas, I would say, maybe even a little bit afterwards, they might not be looking too good, but they do have a deep team. I was watching the Pelicans broadcast, like the Pelicans version of the broadcast, and they had the president of basketball operations, can't remember his name, but they had him on the sideline with the guys commentating the game, and he was very excited about Jordan Hawkins out of UConn, and so am I. So hopefully he can step it up and, take that place that Dejounte Murray is, he would have been in.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's David Griffin, right? I'm pretty sure that's who it is.
Really could not
he
tell
was
you.
with the Cleveland Cavaliers when they had LeBron, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah. Toby, I'll let you go.
I mean, I pretty much agree with Justin. It sucks. I'm taking a more optimistic point of view on this, though. I feel like if it's not going to be a season-ending injury, this is probably the best time to get injured. Gives them plenty of time to, plenty of time for him to get back, I guess. I just hope it's not going to be a struggle, being that it's his first year on this team, and if he comes back, they might have to make adjustments, and they might be a little shaky until they kind of get back in the groove of things. I think it's I feel like fractures are kind of weird because you don't know how long, like you don't know how bad it is. Last year, I was looking at like other players that had fractures, and last year, Westbrook had a fracture on his non-shooting hand. He was only out for like 12 games. So I don't know if that was like it might have been during like the All-Star break or something like that. But I think they're still going to be playing team. I think they're still going to win some games. I was looking at their record for the next like few weeks or so. It is a pretty tough record or schedule. I mean, they're going against the Warriors a few times. They got the Mavericks, and I think they play the Knicks at one point. So they're going to play some tough teams. But if they can stay around 500 level or so, I think once he comes back, they're going to be better, and they're going to be, I think they're going to be a playing team right around that area.
Yeah. No, I mean, circling back to our last episode, our season preview episode, Zion Williamson was my, player with the most approved. So I feel like, this is kind of his time to really showcase why he's one of the best players in the league. Obviously, it sucks. You never want to see a guy get hurt at any, with any team. But Dejounte Murray, they obviously brought him in to make an impact. Maybe take a little bit of a load off of, CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, etc. Zion, of course. But now it's just, like you said, Justin, other guys got to step up. Someone like Jordan Hawkins. I'm pretty sure Trey Murphy is dealing with a hamstring injury, so he might be out for a little bit as well. But, when he comes back, he's got to, continue to play well. Herb Jones, the whole squad. But, yeah, it sucks. This is just how it goes, man. The NBA, can't avoid it. Can't avoid these injuries.
At least it's not a Gordon Hayward situation from whatever opening night that was against the Cavs when basically his foot or his leg like split in half.
Yeah, not exactly a great moment there, but like we said, I mean, like I said, at least I don't think this is gonna keep him out for the entire season. Yeah, like I would expect him to be back. I don't know at what percent he'll be or at what point in the season, but if there is a silver lining in this, I guess it's that it did happen so early in the season that he'll be able to come back and kind of make an impact with the team during the second half of the season or so, or potentially in the playoffs. So get well soon, Dejounte. That's what we got to say. But in other news, I guess other injury news, this is definitely a strange one. There's a lot going on in Philadelphia right now. But Joel Embiid, he's out with left knee management. Last year, I believe he tore his meniscus, it was, in one of his knees. And, that kept him out for a majority of the regular season. He was back for the playoffs in that series against the Knicks. But, was he 100%? We can't really say. He did also play in the Olympics for Team USA. So it is a little strange that, I guess he wasn't able to suit up in the preseason for Philadelphia, and now he's expected to miss Philadelphia's first 3 games. He already missed their season opener against the Bucks. And I believe we mentioned this in a previous episode. He does not expect to play in any more back-to-backs. So just, again, a lot going on with Embiid and his injuries. The NBA also is going to begin an investigation into the 76ers because of the whole new player participation policy that was implemented last season. Trying to get some star players, I guess, out on the court playing. They don't want them just resting for no reason, basically. So, again, a lot going on. And that's not even to mention that Paul George is also out currently. So, just, again, Philly has already gone through it. And but really, my question is, what do you make of this absence for Embiid? How do you guys think the Sixers, will fare without him?
What do you think, Toby?
Well, I got some thoughts. I think you know, the Sixers, I mean, Sixers fans might as well just throw the season away, to be honest with you. I don't think
Wow.
I mean, they're going to be a playoff team unless, like, they completely crash and burn, but they're going to be an early playoff exit. Um, Especially if this guy Embiid only plays 40, 40 or 50 games max. Um, I just, and this is kind of, I'm a little bit biased as a Nets fan, but I believe that Embiid never had the mentality to win a championship. I don't think he ever will win a championship. I think, you know, he doesn't want it bad enough. And Paul George is going to do his thing on the Sixers. But I mean, the way I view Embiid, he's a dirty player. Uh, he's an instigator, but he's not that guy. He's constantly out. He doesn't want to play back to backs. Health things you can't really help. I mean, he is 7 foot and can move pretty much like a guard sometimes. So I understand that, but I just think his mentality, him playing half the games this season, it's not going to end well for the Sixers. So I think Sixers fans can just kind of chalk this season up as another disappointment. It's all said and done.
I agree with most of that, Toby. I gotta say, I really do agree with most of that. The only thing is this guy Embiid, he's always talking about, I'll do whatever it takes to win a championship. I'll do whatever it takes. But then he's not doing whatever it takes. He's saying all this, he's yapping his head off, King Yapper. Yeah, they always say actions speak louder than words, bro. You got to prove it. You got to prove that you want it, because when the time comes, it doesn't look like you want it. But if Paul George plays, I think the Sixers can be successful. I think they'll be, right in the middle of the pack of the Eastern Conference playoff run. But if Embiid and Paul George are both missing even 20 games, I think you're right, Toby. I think you could chalk it up as a complete disappointment, L of a season, and better luck next year. Basically, the only thing is, not playing the back-to-backs. It's a softy move, but I can understand it because I want the Knicks to kind of do the same thing with Mitch, keep that guy out as long as possible so that he's ready to go for the playoffs, because playoffs are the only thing that matters. But
I think that's different though, because Mitch isn't like the player you have your whole offense around, kind of.
yeah,
You know
that's
what I mean?
facts. No, that's
It's
facts. But
honestly like it does suck because I feel like if he was always healthy, I feel like that like lineup is good enough to get to the finals. Like I really do think that
the
they have.
Sixers,
Yeah, I think if injuries never existed, if Paul George and Embiid could play 82 games with Maxey, I do think that's like a championship caliber team. But it's it sucks.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember. This could have been yesterday, 2 days ago. This could have been whenever. But I saw my boy Stephen A. Smith on one of those ESPN shows just going off on this guy Embiid. He listed every injury this guy Embiid has had. He's had an injury to like every body part you can think of. Like he's had neck injuries, shoulder injuries, knee, hip, foot, ankle. Like he's hurt everything. Like it's not even the same reoccurring injury. He's getting a new injury every season. So I don't know what he's doing with himself, but he's got to stay healthy, bro. Like I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. He's just a physical player. It's, very unique in the way that he plays, given, like his size. And like Toby said, he can move like a guard. He dribbles the basketball quite a bit for someone that tall and that, heavy, I guess. It's tough, the wear and tear over so
Yeah.
many years in the NBA. I mean, he came into the NBA already injured,
Mhm.
It's just really unfortunate. But I don't know. I'm trying to play like devil's advocate here and like go against you two. I mean, yes, I think Embiid, not being there, huge absence for Philadelphia. But I think again, as long as, and I'm going to continue to say this, I think as long as Tyrese Maxey is there, I feel like they're going to be competitive. Obviously, you want to have Embiid and Paul George. And I think Paul George, I'm not too concerned about his injury. I feel like he'll be able to kind of return to the lineup relatively soon, and I think he'll make a huge difference. But it really, like, without Embiid during the regular season, they just have to stay afloat and, get into the playoffs healthy. Because at the end of the day, like, yes, they might have to go up against like a Boston Celtics potentially in the first round, but at the end of the day, you're probably going to have to go through, a lot of those top teams if you do want to make it to the finals, which is, I'm sure, the Sixers' ultimate goal this season with the roster that they have. So, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, as long as Philadelphia can just make the playoffs, I feel like anything can happen. But they just got to stay healthy. And if Embiid's not there, I think you guys are right. Like, I don't know if they really have a chance without him. But I hate to see it, man. It sucks. Like, it just sucks, man. He's such a great player, but just can't make it happen. Can't stay on the court.
You guys think Embiid he'll go down as one of those big what if players like Derrick Rose and like T Mac and
Nah,
Brandon Boyd?
I don't
feel
think
like
so.
You don't think so? I mean, Toby, we talk about them like they'd be some of the goats if they didn't get injured. Like people are already kind of talking about that with Embiid. Like, he's modern day Hakeem and all this stuff. If that guy was playing 75 games a year his whole career, things could be a lot different.
But it's a choice. I think this is a choice. Like
I think it is too, but
it's not like Derrick Rose went down with the injury. He came back. He was never the same player.
yeah.
Like Joel Embiid has come back from most of his injuries. He's still played at such a high level, and now he's just choosing not to play like every back-to-back game this
So
season.
we're not giving this guy Embiid any respect, Toby.
I'm just not gonna give him that grace. You know what I mean?
All right, I'm with it.
I mean, I just think, like, at least the players you just named, Justin, like Derrick Rose, Tracy McGrady, Brandon, like, I feel like Embiid has kind of ascended past all of those players, at least, like, just in terms of what he's achieved. Maybe he doesn't have had, like, the playoff success, but, like, I mean, did T-Mac really have any playoff success? Derrick Rose, when he was, like, younger, I guess he did, on those, like, early Bulls teams, but, not, like, wildly, like, winning multiple championships or anything like that. I don't know. I just feel like Embiid is, like Toby said, when he comes back, like when he is on the court, he's kind of like consistently been one of the best players in the entire league. So it's not like what Toby, it's not like he gets hurt and then he's like a kind of like 50% of what he was before he was hurt. Like he's always come back and been like in MVP conversation. So I think it's a little different. Obviously, you would like to see him play more games, but I don't know. If he can make an impact while he is out there, then that's really what matters. But you just got to be out there more often,
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, again, Dejounte Murray, Joel Embiid dealing with some injuries. There's plenty of other players also dealing with injuries, but we figured we highlight those two just given the kind of their place in the league, I guess. But yeah, get well soon to both of them. We love to see you guys out on the court. But aside from that, I just wanted to touch on that. I feel like now we can just kind of discuss our very early thoughts, reactions, whatever you want to say to the games that have been played. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll cover a lot of teams, so I'll let you guys start with wherever you guys want to start. Your early thoughts on the first week of games or so.
I got to talk about these clowns, the New York Post. No. I got to say, like, realistically, the Knicks didn't have that bad of a game. We shot 55% from the field, 37 from three. Offensively, we didn't have that bad of a game. Celtics, I think before the game started, whoever was, commentating that game said that they have 13 players returning from the same roster as last year, the Celtics. So they're the same team that just won it all, like literally the same team. They're locked in. Jason Tatum had his Zen controller plugged in, bro. That guy could not miss. That guy was greening everything.
Jeez.
But they had some phenomenal ball movement. Like they really did know exactly where somebody would be, this point of the play for, whichever play they were running. They were really hitting people right where they needed to be hit. Like it was a really good basketball game to watch if you're a Celtics fan. I was sitting there, pissed off, but it was a good game. They really, it was beautiful basketball. I can't lie. Like I really want to hate, but I can't. Like they were playing so well. For the Knicks though, it's only game one. It's only one game. Everybody relax, but they need to just attempt more threes. I didn't write down the numbers for some reason, but we didn't even attempt. I don't even know if we attempted the same amount of threes that they made. Like we just need to put up more shots. And just more effort on defense. Like, it's not the playoffs, but we were really like, really just trying on defense in the playoffs last year. And I just didn't see that. I didn't see that same intensity. I didn't see, the good closeouts. People were getting blown by and just kind of letting it happen. But just watching that game, two players that I was not happy about. That guy OG Anunoby was moving in slow motion on every like shot attempt he was trying to take. The guy was just moving like somebody's grandpa. And whoever messed up Mikal Bridges' jumper, bro, he's got to get fired. Whoever was messing with that guy's jumper, he's got to find a new place to work at, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys looked awful.
I mean,
I wouldn't say awful, Toby, but we did not
you look,
our best.
especially defensively, you guys look pretty bad.
Maybe.
I mean, I don't think it's fair to like you said, Justin, it's one game and it's, ring night in Boston against like a motivated Celtics team. They hit how many threes? Like 29, I think.
29.
Something like just again, like an incredible performance by Boston, but probably not something we're going to see very often. And it just so happens that it happened against New York. And I don't know. Like you said, no need to overreact to one game.
Yeah, no, everybody relax.
I don't know. I think we might see that pretty often this year by the Celtics. That guy Jason Tatum, that guy looked incredible. That guy was not missing anything.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, the Knicks defense definitely could have played a lot better. But you got your boy Miles McBride.
Yes,
he had a
sir.
great game off the bench.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The Celtics, they look incredible. I think they're going to make the finals again this year. Again, it's just one game. We have to see what they look like, moving forward. But I also think the Knicks are going to get better too. I mean, that guy Cat played pretty bad. They're going to have to figure stuff out. Mikal Bridges, he's going to get his jumper back. Justin, don't even worry about it. Like, trust me, he's going to be good. And then we watched a little bit of the Lakers game. Bronny James coming out to make his NBA debut. Honestly, as a LeBron hater, that was a pretty cool moment to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Being that I think that's the only other father-son duo besides the Griffeys to play. And the Griffeys were in attendance too, which was, cool watching them talk and stuff like that. The Lakers, they look pretty good. They look pretty good in game one. LeBron is looking a little slow. I think he's going to have to warm up a little bit into the season, but I thought the Lakers honestly look better than I thought. Maybe the Timberwolves have some, kinks to iron out with Julius Randle and stuff. Because that guy, at least in the first half, he was kind of playing like a bum. But the Lakers did kind of impress me a little bit, I got to say.
Well, I had Spencer and Toby over to watch the Knicks Celtics, the Lakers T-Wolves, and I had to kick them out at halftime of that Lakers game because it was getting late. I had to get up, but I took a look at the box score either, the next day or whenever I looked at it, but I only have a couple notes on this game. Dante DiVincenzo put up a stinker. The Lakers were putting up bricks, bro. They were 5 of 30 from 3. But their defense won them the game. They forced 19 points off 16 turnovers and had 8 blocks to only 1 from the T-Wolves, which they have the DPOY. So, the Lakers, I think, are a really good defensive team, but I don't know. I don't know what was going on with that 3-point shooting, but that'll get worked out. But I think I really do like JJ Redick as their coach. I think I mean, a lot of coaches would have been better than hands in the pocket, Starvin Ham, but
Your boy Dalton Connect played pretty good too.
I actually looked at the thing. He only had 5 points, but he came in and hit a big 3.
He was playing pretty good in the first half. Again, I haven't really watched too much of the second half.
I don't think he played much in the second half, but Julius, he had an all right game. I think he had like he wasn't looking terrible, but yeah, those are my only notes on that game, on those games. I did watch almost the entire Pacers and Pistons game from yesterday, and that was a great game. The Pistons, I think, won. I think the Pistons won. Can't remember.
I'll look. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't even know. But the only reason I think they won is because they were playing really well. Like, against a very fast-paced Pacers team. That's why they call them the Pacers. They were looking good. Malik Beasley is a great pickup. That guy was playing a fantastic off the bench. He basically, was running the whole game from like the last 5 minutes of the second quarter until halftime. Like, I think he put him up like 6 or 8 points at the half. It was literally only him. Like, he was just giving them buckets. Pistons bench unit, though, other than Malik Beasley, was looking pretty good. I like Isaiah Stewart, even though he might be a little crazy. But the one guy that I was really watching a lot was Jalen Duren. And I think if Jalen Duren works on becoming, like a nice weak side help defender, like weak side rim protector, just come over, get a nice easy swat, because he's very athletic. He's big body, he's really athletic, great rebounder, great lob threat. But if he could really work on being a rim protector, he could really be like very, very good big man in the league. Like, not Embiid level, not Jokic level, but he could be, like a prime Andre Drummond type of guy.
Yeah.
Skip boards, play good defense, do the dirty work, be physical.
He's only 20 years old, so, still very early in his career. So he's got a lot to, like you said, develop into.
And I just wanted to say this because the Pacers did the Knicks dirty, but Tyrese Halliburton's the most overrated shooter in the whole league. Guy hit
overrated
after
shooter?
one game? After one game?
He made his one 3-pointer of the game in like the last 45 seconds to put him up by 6, which really made me so mad because he was 0 for 9 before that, and then made his one shot to basically win the game. So Pacers won. The Pacers won the game, but
that's a bold statement, though. Most overrated shooter.
I'm only saying that because they beat us in the playoffs. It's the only reason I'm saying that. But Pascal Siakam was playing right where he left off in the playoffs. He was cooking. He was really cooking up something spicy. And I didn't really see Cade Cunningham do, too much in the first half, but he almost finished with 30 points. So whatever he was doing in that third quarter, he was really balling.
Yeah. Yeah, the Pistons are going to be interesting. They have a new coach, JB Bickerstaff. So and they got a lot of young guys. And then the Pacers, I don't really know. I mean, I feel like I watched the Pacers so much last year, so they're not really a team that I'm like super into yet, just because I feel like I watched them so much last year, and I feel like they're going to be somewhat similar. But, you know, as the season goes on, I'll probably watch more of them. But, Toby, any other games that you watched before I kind of talk about the one I did?
Yeah, I mean, I watched the Nets versus Hawks game. I think I missed a little bit of the first quarter, but I watched like pretty much the entire thing. And I mean, Nets are going to be awful this year. There's no hiding from that. I think it's going to be like similar to their season opener, where it's going to be a close game. Like they're going to be competitive in every game, but they're just not, like, once it gets to the fourth quarter, they're going to kind of fall apart. Maybe that's on purpose if you think they're trying to get some draft picks or whatever. But Cam Thomas, he was hooping a little bit, especially in that second half. Once he gets going, I was listening to the announcers, and they were clowning that guy all game. Those Hawks announcers were super biased. They kept telling him to pass the rock, and they kept saying he doesn't care about anything. And
Wow.
But the Hawks, they look pretty good. Jalen Johnson, that guy was trying to catch a body on everybody. He was getting to the free throw line a lot. They weren't making a lot of their free throws, but you know, I think the Pacers, the Hawks, are going to be pretty good this year. And then I watched some of the Grizzlies versus Jazz game. The Grizzlies, they look really good. Ja Morant came out, I think he had like 22 and 10. Desmond Bane did his thing. He got 24, 4 and 4. And the guy Santi Aldama scored 27 by the end of the game too. So I think those two, and if they can keep JJJ healthy all season, like if they stay healthy all season and get to the playoffs, they're going to be a really hard team to beat in the West. The Jazz, they only beat the Jazz by 2 points. The Jazz really weren't missing anything, but not much to say about the Jazz. I mean, Lauri Markkanen went off. I feel like he could be a trade piece later on this season if he continues to play well to like a good contending team. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Yeah. I'm interested to watch the Grizzlies. I didn't get to watch that game, but, you know, I got to watch my guy, Zach Edey, you know.
That guy Edey, he wasn't.
He didn't have the
looking
best
too
game.
good.
I did see, yeah, he didn't have the best game, but, you know, like we said, it's just one game, so he's got time.
It's impressive that he's even starting. First game as a rookie. I mean, you don't really expect a rookie in his first game to pop off, but I mean, he's got to do a little bit better than 5 and 5. He didn't play too many minutes, but I mean, we'll see. He'll play better.
Yeah. You know, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun season. But so the game that I watched was the Hornets and Rockets game. It's not, you know, anything, you know, mind-blowing, but I did talk last episode about the Rockets. I think they're going to be the kind of like that breakout team this year that, you know, kind of takes everybody by surprise. They lost this game, though, to the Hornets. And I think, Justin, you mentioned the Hornets were like kind of your team to kind of look out for.
The Hornets and the Pistons, yeah.
And I feel like I have a lot more notes on the Hornets than I do on the Rockets, to be honest. But I guess it's worth mentioning Charles Lee is their new head coach. He was, I believe, like one of the top assistants on the Celtics staff last year. So, you know, championship. And before that, I think he was with like Mike Budenholzer in Milwaukee. I think he might have been on the Lakers staff at one point with Darvin Ham. So he's kind of been all around, but, you know, with a lot of winning teams. So I think he'll bring a good culture there to Charlotte, you know, with all those young guys. But I guess my biggest takeaway was just how good LaMelo looked. I thought LaMelo was fantastic in this game. I don't know, man. Like, he just has, like, yes, he's a very flashy player. Like, it's very fun to watch him. But I feel like he's, like, kind of his flashiness is very effective in the way like he can get his teammates open or get himself open, right? Like he's very fun to watch, but I feel like it's more than just like aesthetic. I feel like he's really doing this to, just be an effective basketball player on offense at least. Like he had 2 really good assists, I thought, to Brandon Miller. Like one on a cut. I think he ended up like posterizing someone, Brandon Miller, but it was a really solid pass by LaMelo, and then another one on like an and 1-3 to Brandon Miller as well. So I don't know. I thought LaMelo was just like a really solid playmaker, but on top of that, like also hunting for a shot when the Hornets needed him to. So overall, I thought LaMelo had a really, really good game. And the Hornets were trailing for quite a bit in this game. Like the Rockets were like in control for like the majority of the game. I think they were down by like 19 at one point. So, but in the minutes where LaMelo was on the floor, it did feel like really competitive. Like it didn't really feel like Charlotte was out of the game when he was on the floor. So I think that's also a good sign. Brandon Miller, unfortunately, he got hurt in this game. But, as I was watching, I couldn't like see, I guess, exactly where he got hurt. I'm sure someone might have found it like on social media, like picked out the specific play. But I guess that's not to say a great sign, but it wasn't one of those injuries where it's like, the game stops and they got to sub him out or anything. Like he just kept playing, and then at halftime they just announced I think it was like a hip injury or something. But he was sitting on the sideline the second half, so it didn't look like anything too serious. So I think he'll probably not miss too many games for whatever this injury is. But he looked solid in the minutes that he did play in the first half. And then 2 other players on the Hornets that I really liked was Trey Mann, who I think I've always been a fan of. He was in Oklahoma City before this. Just a really good like offensive piece, shot creator, really like just really smart with the ball, solid playmaker. You can play him next to LaMelo as well. Just again, I can see. I'm not saying that he's gonna win this award, but I can see him just being like a 6-man, for the majority of his career. Like I can see him fitting into that role really well with a lot of teams. Like he just comes into the game and he's kind of just instant offense, whether like the team needs him to score, the team needs to run the offense, like whatever it is. I thought he was just doing a really solid job for Charlotte in this game. And then their center, Nick Richards, who I think the Knicks at one point were saying they wanted to trade for him. And I didn't really know much about like his game, but after watching this, I just really like how he plays. I feel like he's just really physical. He was going up against Şengün in this game, so like, a really solid center. I feel like he was kind of holding his own. Really solid rebounder. Just like a much bigger dude than I think I expected. Just a lot stronger, I guess. So I think he's going to be, I don't know if he's going to be anything spectacular for Charlotte this year, but I feel like he's going to be a solid center for them, just given what they have on that team. So, yeah, man, I thought the Hornets, they looked really good in this first game. I thought there was one moment that I noticed, and I was like, I like to see this kind of stuff with like coaching. I think Grant Williams like fell to the floor after like a foul call, and it looked like he was gonna get up, and then you see on the sideline their new coach Charles Lee is like signaling to him like, don't get up, like have your teammates come and pick you up, and then you see, I think it was Trey Mann and someone else, they come over and help him up. So it's just like a little thing like that, I like seeing stuff, I think that's culture building. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like this team may have had like an issue in the past with, maturity and stuff like that. I feel like he's going to come in and kind of do a good job just making sure that their primary focus is basketball, because I feel like if that is the case, the team could be pretty competitive. Yeah, so I expect a big season from LaMelo. But yeah, shout out the Hornets. I have some notes on the Rockets, but I don't know if you guys want to chime in.
Jalen
Yeah,
Green.
I was watching a little bit of that game. Trey Mann is definitely sick. And last episode, I don't know, I wasn't really talking down, but I did bring up the point that you just made, Jory, about, lack of maturity, especially last season. They were just kind of goofing off, is what I felt like. But he came out, he was 2 boards short of a 30-point triple-double, man. He finished with 38 boards and 11 assists. So great game from LaMelo. You love to see it. He dedicated that game to his dad, LeVar. It was his birthday yesterday. Post-game
Okay.
interview, and he was like, "Yeah, shout out Pops." So yeah, I was glad that the Hornets won, but I was pretty indifferent on that game. Either team could have won. I would have been, it would have been a good game.
Yeah, definitely. Like this game was very close down to like the last couple of seconds, and then I think LaMelo hit a big shot down the stretch. Like he had a big three, and then he had this like wild. He took a really long three, and it was like he got his own offensive rebound and scored a layup. So like this game could have definitely gone either way. But shout out to the Hornets for pulling that one out. But I guess just quickly on the Rockets, like what I saw, like I said, Şengün.
All that.
Really solid game, I thought. He's a very interesting player. He's also very physical. I feel like he has really solid footwork as well. But he's a little like it doesn't look like he's moving very fast. But again, like I said, I think he has really solid footwork and he knows how to like use his body and his body weight against other centers really well. So I feel like he's really effective in that way. And then Reed Shepherd, the only play I really wanted to mention was his first bucket, and it was like a really small thing, but I guess it was like kind of in like the pick and roll, and he was defended by Melo, and he got like LaMelo behind him, I guess, after the screen, and he shot a runner, and it looked like LaMelo was going to block it from behind, and I guess Reed kind of like had the awareness to know that, okay, if I release this ball right now, it's probably going to get blocked. So like he's going up, he still has the ball, he's coming back down after LaMelo's like kind of hand, his contest, whatever, gets out of the way, and then he released the ball, and I was like, damn. Like a really small thing, but I was like, that looked like really like, for a rookie to come in and I don't know, just have that offensive awareness, I guess, it was really impressive. But I think he might only had like 4 or 5 points in this game. But I like Reed Shepherd. I feel like there's going to just be little moments throughout the season where I'm like, yeah, he's going to be a really solid player. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm still high on the Rockets. Just a fun game, honestly, to watch.
You got anything, Toby? Did you catch any of that game at all?
I didn't catch. I mean, I caught the last probably 30 seconds of the game. That guy Sengun kind of sold a little bit, but he kind of choked a little bit. But you can't really put that on. I mean, he kind of carried the team for most of the game.
Yeah, like
18.
He that last play, and again, Trey Mann, Şengün was like kind of bringing the ball up. I can't remember if it was in transition or if it was off like an inbound error, but he's like pushing the ball, and it was funny all game long. He looked really solid, like handling the ball kind of in transition, and then on this play, Trey Mann is like posted up basically at the free throw line, like set to take a charge against Şengün. And I guess he just like wasn't expecting him to be there. He tried to go behind the back and it just basically threw the ball out of bounds. And that was pretty much the end of the game. The Hornets come down, make some free throws. But yeah, it was a really close game. Like it literally came down to like 2 or 3 possessions at the end of the game that decided it. So yeah. Shout out Houston, shout out Charlotte. That was a fun game. I didn't know what to expect, but it's fun. Fun watching some games like that, teams that don't get a lot of shine, I guess.
Yeah. One other game that I watched, a good amount of, I kind of turned it off at the end because it was turning out to be a blowout, but I was watching the Bucks Sixers. This is me and Tommy. I don't know if you remember Tommy, Jory. I don't even know if you know who that is, Toby, but my boy Tommy used to say that guys who are good at getting rebounds that they eat glass, and that guy Drummond definitely eats glass, bro. That guy Drummond still he eats glass. At least in the first half, Philly was dominating the offensive boards without Embiid, like dominating the offensive rebounds. But one guy who I didn't like him when he was on the Knicks, but then as soon as he left to go to the Bucks, I really like him. Bobby Portis, bro, when he like is making an impact on the game, like he's really making an impact. I was watching this guy do everything. He was crashing the boards, playing defense, hitting threes, making good passes. Like Bobby Portis was really balling. And I don't know why I thought of this immediately. He is the Jameis Winston of the NBA. Like that guy's just a clown, bro.
Oh
He's
my
just such
gosh.
a funny guy to just watch him out there doing like his little mannerisms and stuff. But up until halftime, Philly wasn't looking too bad. Honestly, they really weren't looking too bad with no Embiid or Paul George, but I guess that guy Doc Rivers cooked up a nice little game plan at halftime, and Dame started cooking. He was kind of, he wasn't playing too bad, but he could have been shooting better up until halftime. But then, second half came around. That guy was really, he started popping off. Um, and then, I was really trying to go hard, watching as many games as I could. So there's a couple of games that I just have, like one or two notes on, like Magic Heat. Paolo, he might be all NBA, bro. Well, he probably will be all NBA, but he might even be second or first team if he really hoops. Um, Bulls, Pelicans, Zach LaVine was balling. Glad that he's finally back. He was out since January of last season. Lonzo Ball's back. He didn't really, do too much when it comes to scoring, but he's always making an impact. Good defender, good playmaker. The Bulls are going to be fun. And then the only thing I have about Suns and Clippers is that the Intuit Dome is sick. The Intuit Dome is tough. That wall, the wall behind the basket, bro, they made Kevin Durant miss 2 free throws to get free chicken, free
What's
Chick-fil-A.
the wall? What's the wall?
The wall, you know what the wall is?
No.
So behind, I guess it's both hoops. I don't know if it's both sides or just one side. But one of the sides behind the basket, like where the fans sit, they made it like just like no gaps in like the seats. Like it's just like 30 or 40 rows of straight seats. And it just, I guess nobody really said it, but just from what I could, guess as, like having played basketball before, it just probably messes with your depth perception. And, it's so many people, waving their hands, screaming, doing whatever they can to make you miss. So it worked. Devin Booker said he missed a free throw at the end of the game and he was pissed. He was like, yeah, bro, we might as well spend $2 billion on a wall. So it, it seemed to have worked. It really seemed to have worked. And I don't even know who won that game, but
I think the
Kevin
Suns
Durant,
did
the
in like
Suns won.
overtime. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker were not too happy with the wall, so it seems to be working. And they have like courts outside of the arena. So when you're like pulling up to the game, you just want to get a couple shots in with the boys, like you could do that. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah. It's cool. It's here. That's finally here. Like I remember when we first started this podcast, we talked about kind of the construction plans for it. Now it's finally the season is upon us where the Clippers are, finally have their own home. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thank God. I feel like they were kind of the little brothers of the Lakers. Now they kind of have their own identity, similar to the Jets and the Giants.
I guess
Well,
so.
the Jets still play at stinky MetLife, so
That's what I'm saying. The Giants are the little brother.
what?
Oh
What?
my gosh. We're going to get sidetracked.
No, we're just the washed older brother. That's all it is. We're just washed right now.
All right.
But
All right, let us get a little sidetracked just for a second. If the Giants or the Jets were to get their own stadium, who would get it first? Should the Giants stay at MetLife, or should the Giants be like, yeah, we're the Giants. Let's get our own field.
I feel like the Jets would get their own field.
I feel like they should.
Yeah. Honestly, no. I feel like MetLife is a Giant place. It's a Giants home.
Yeah, I feel like the Jets, if they got their own arena, they would make a sick arena too. or their a field, stadium, whatever he's on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who knows? One day, follow in the footsteps of the Clippers and Steve Ballmer.
Yeah.
Make something cool. But yeah, I mean that's really all I got. You know, like we said, it's only been a couple of days, so not a lot going on. But you know, as the season progresses, we're gonna get more games. We're gonna get more news, so it's gonna be fun. But yeah, I think Justin, you said you might have some games for us if you want to take the
Yeah,
lead.
I'm ready for two. I'm ready for some trivia or some blind rankings. So we can do one or the other, or we can uh do both of them real quick. Let you guys decide. You want to do some trivia or you want to do some blind rankings?
What do you think,
Let's
Toby?
do blind rankings. I don't think we've ever done this before.
All right. So I don't know if you guys know how it works, but the way that it works is I got 5 guys written down. I'm just gonna say their names, and you put them in order from 1 to 5. 1 being the best, if you think he's gonna be the best player out of these 5, or however you guys want to do it. You guys can work as a team. You can make separate rankings. You can do whatever you like. But
So it's one player at a time.
yeah, I'm gonna name one player, and you put them 1 through 5 wherever you think he's gonna be. Based
I'm
on
good at
it's,
these. I'm good
it's
at
just
these.
these 5 players, and they're all current players. They all play in the league right now.
All right.
All right, let's do it.
All right. First name is Paolo Banchero.
Ooh.
That's kind of a curveball because he could be going anywhere at this.
Are we making separate lists or are we doing
It's up
one?
to you guys. You do whatever you like.
What do you think, Toby?
Let's make separate lists,
All right.
Okay.
Here.
and then Justin could be the judge.
All
Let
right.
me get my pen. Let me get my pen real quick.
Intermission.
Paolo Banchero. I got some thoughts about Paolo.
All right. So Jorie and Toby. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, Jorie, where do you think Paolo Banchero should be listed?
I'm gonna say number 2.
I like it.
Yeah. I feel like Paolo's gonna have a great season. I feel like he had a great start to his career already. Yeah. I'm gonna say number 2.
I'm gonna put him at number 3.
Number 3, okay.
I think Justin's gonna come out here with some firepower.
Even if he does.
I gotta hedge my bets a little bit.
All right.
I
The
still
second
left
player,
the top stop open.
second player, I briefly mentioned him. Talking about the Pacers and Pistons, Pascal Siakam.
Okay. Pascal. I'm gonna say 4th.
All right.
I like Pascal. I think he's a huge component to what the Pacers do, but I don't know.
You think I
I
got? You think
just
I
have a
got
feeling.
some? You
Yeah.
think I got some better players stocked up?
I think you do.
5.
Nobody can understand you.
5, Toby.
5.
Well, Toby, I
He's
gotta
good.
say
He's a
you're
great
not gonna
player.
be you're not gonna be
He's
happy
a great
about that
player.
pick.
I just think I'm just thinking from like where you are coming from. I think you're gonna pick some.
Well,
I
you're
don't
not
think
gonna
you're
be
gonna
very
pick like.
happy. You're not gonna be happy with this next name because the next name is DeAndre Ayton.
All right, yeah, I'll put him at 5. I'll put him at 5.
I'm gonna put him at 4.
Don't be
DeAndre
hating
Ayton.
DeAndre Ayton.
Aiden is a better player than Siakam.
All right.
Wow. Okay.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, he's I have to make the case now, right?
I mean, you don't. You could just admit that you made a bad pick with Pascal
Nah.
at 5. All right. The next name, Donovan Mitchell.
Ooh. Yeah.
You got
that's
1
tough.
and 3 left, Jory, and Toby got 1 and 2 left.
Oh. You know what? I'm gonna put Donovan I'm gonna put him at number 1.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him at number 1.
Wow.
I love Donovan Mitchell. I think he's one of the best offensive players in the league. Period. Yeah, I think he does it all for that Cavs team.
All right. I'm going to put him at 2 then. I'm going to put him at 2.
All right.
I think I like him above Paolo, at least for the current moment. So I think number 1, I hopefully you come back with a splash.
Well, you got lucky, Toby. The last name is Ja Morant.
Okay.
So Jorie, Ja's at 3, Toby, Ja's at 1. So, Jorie, your 1 through 5 is Donovan Mitchell, Paolo Banchero, Ja Morant, Pascal Siakam, and DeAndre Ayton. That's the only thing that maybe I would have done is swap Donovan Mitchell with Ja. But other than that, really good list. You know, Toby, same with you. If you just switched Pascal and DeAndre Ayton, your list probably would have been perfect.
I got
You
a perfect list.
Your 1 through 5 is Ja, Donovan Mitchell, Paolo, Ayton, and Spicy P.
Perfect. Perfect.
All right.
All right, yeah, not too bad, not too bad. All right, you know what? We're gonna bust out some trivia because I only got 5 questions and they're pretty easy questions. You know,
Say they're easy.
They might be a little tricky. No, they might be a little tricky, but I think you guys could, if you work together, I think you guys could get the right answers.
All right.
First question. Total draft bust. What year was Jahlil Okafor drafted?
2014. Am I right?
2015. It was 2015.
Oh, man.
Wait, you said 2015?
Yeah.
I was going to say
Damn.
2015.
Well, my bad.
I promise you.
Well, he was trying to price his right me. That's why.
All right, next question. This one surprised me, kind of, but not really. Who led the league in assists per game in the 2009-2010 season?
Oh, jeez.
Well, 2 names come to the top of my list right now.
Yeah, same here.
What
But he
happened?
said it kind of surprises him. I was thinking Chris Paul and
Oh, I did give you a hint.
And Rondo, right?
it could be Rondo.
Who else were you thinking?
Well, he said it kind of surprises him. So now I'm trying to think outside the box a little bit.
Nothing too crazy. It's nothing too crazy. It surprised me because I figured it would have been, you know, one of those two were like chasing kids. So another hint. It's not.
So
him.
it's not those two. Gee.
Well, so the Celtics won in the championship in 2008. 2009, it could definitely be Rondo. It could definitely be Rondo.
I don't know. That's tough.
It could be Darren Williams. Could be
Could
Darren
be.
Williams.
I like that. I like that answer, but I also don't know if he ever led the league in assists. He's more of a scorer, right?
Back in that day, that guy was dishing out dimes. I'm saying Chris Paul.
Okay.
Jeez. I'm trying to even think like what.
I'll give you a hint.
Was Ricky Rubio in the league at this point?
I don't know, but it's not him. I'll give you a hint. This guy still plays.
Chris Paul. Chris Paul.
All right. Well, damn. Yeah, I'm gonna say Chris Paul.
Rondo doesn't play. Darren Williams doesn't
Chris
play.
Paul. It's not Chris
He
Paul.
still plays.
What? Who's old?
Is it Kyle Lowry?
Nope.
Russell
What?
Westbrook?
Nope.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's a good answer though, Toby.
Oh my God. We must be missing the most obvious person.
Yeah, we have to be.
You want to know? You want to know? You guys are gonna hate yourselves.
All right, we got to guess one more at least.
All right, you get one more guess each.
Mike Conley.
Nope. That's not a bad guess, but nope.
Yeah, that's not a bad guess. Jeez.
I don't know. I give up.
Dude, I can't even think of like older guys. I don't know.
Well, I'm surprised nobody said Steve Nash because that would have been a great guess. But it
Mhm.
was actually LeBron James led the league in
Oh my
assists
gosh.
in
Wow.
2009, 2010.
What?
All right. The
As
next
a point
question.
guard.
This
As a
one,
point guard.
this one should be a gimme. Honestly, if you're a real hoop head, you know this. You know this answer without even thinking about it. Who are the two players who are tied for most Six Man of the Year awards?
Ooh.
I got one
Jamal
of them.
Crawford.
Jamal Crawford.
Jordan Clarkson.
Nope.
Damn.
Jamal Crawford.
6-man. Lou Will.
Who's he?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Jamal
There you
Crawford, Lou
go.
Will. All right. This one's
6-man like
tricky.
Lou Will.
This one's tricky. This one I kind of thought, this who has this, like who owns this title, I guess. Who has the worst playoff win percentage when playing at least 50 postseason games? So they got a good amount of games under their belt, but they just can't catch a dub.
But we're talking about in history.
Yes, in history. And I'll
Oh
give you a
my
hint.
God.
It's a current player. It's a current player.
Joel Embiid.
No. No.
Ah. Damn. I thought that was gonna be it.
I'll give you more guesses. Or I'll
I got
give you
a
more hints. It's a current player. He's actually played in the Western Conference his whole career.
Mm.
And I don't know. If the team that he's on right now makes it to the playoffs, he's probably adding to this terrible win percentage.
Jeez.
I was thinking
Uh,
Paul George maybe, but Western Conference throws it off.
Yeah.
So that means it can't be James Harden.
This guy's never really been like the guy on his team. Like
Chris
he's
Paul.
been No, not Chris Paul. He's been a good player. Like he's a good player, but he's never been the guy on his team.
Carmelo Anthony.
My God.
No.
And you said he's still in the league, right?
Yep. He is the all-time worst record, but he currently plays.
Hmm. This is tough, man. This is tough. Is it CJ McCollum?
Holy shit, what a snipe. I'm so
Oh.
I really can't believe you
Damn.
just got that, bro.
Yo. Let's
What
go.
up, Dory Mickens? No, that was crazy.
Because you
Good
said,
snipe.
I don't know, I had to put the pieces together. You said he never left the West. He's never really been the quote unquote the guy. And I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know. I've only seen the Blazers win like 3 playoff series maybe. And they didn't win last year in New Orleans.
I'll tell you his playoff record. He is 20-67 in the playoffs. He's only won 29.9% of his games.
Oh, that sucks.
Damn. All right, well, shout out CJ though.
Yeah, you know what? Shout out CJ. I've always liked CJ, guys hooper, but
Yeah.
can't get it done.
It just is what it is.
All right, last question. This one could maybe be a gimme as well. Which two teams are tied with 6 number 1 overall draft picks?
Ooh, like all time?
Yep.
Okay.
76ers?
Nope.
Well,
They were tied for second, I think, Toby.
6 overall.
What team has been awful every single decade?
I want to say like the Magic.
Not the
Okay.
Magic.
You know, Shaq, Paolo,
Milwaukee Bucks?
Dwight Howard, I think
Nope.
was number 1.
Magic. That was a good guess. But I'm thinking it might be like a historical team, like a, older team.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how. I think it was NBA.com is where I got it from. At least the answer from. Um, I think they're just doing like whatever the current team, whatever like the team name is, like it's just whoever's been associated with that, you know,
Washington Wizards.
that's one of them. Yes, sir.
All right. The
Interesting.
Bullets.
All right. Well, you got
Name your
one.
team the Bullets anymore.
I can't believe you guys haven't gotten the second one. I figured you would have got that one first.
The New York Knicks.
No.
The Cavaliers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh.
The Cavs and the
makes sense.
Wizards.
Yeah, because LeBron, Kyrie, Andrew Wiggins,
Anthony Bennett.
Anthony Bennett. I don't know.
I don't know who the other two were.
Probably some older players. Yeah. All right. Well, damn.
Yeah. That's all I got. Yeah, I hope those questions were a lot better than the ones from last time because those last questions were kind of bogus.
No, that was good. That was good. It's always fun to exercise your brain in that way.
Next time, one of you guys got to come up with the trivia because I'm really gonna cook you guys if I got to answer the questions, bro.
All right. Sounds good.
I'd come up with a good trivia.
Oh, Toby might come up with the worst trivia out of all of us.
But no, I'm going to stump you.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, man. NBA season is back. We're excited. And yeah. Enjoy the basketball because it's going to be a long season, but it's also going to go pretty quickly, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
It always does.
June will be here before we know it.
Yes, sir. But also, oh yeah, before we go, shout out the New York Liberty.
Yes, sir.
They won 5 games against the Minnesota Lynx. They are WNBA champions. So shout out New York. They just had their parade today on Thursday. So yeah, go Liberty. We were all correct, I believe. Liberty in 5.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, good stuff. And until then, I guess we'll be seeing you.